Hey, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines, and this is our little advisory section in which people write in and we offer our viewpoint, a male viewpoint and a female, and not only that but a foreigner, because that's what I am, and Beth, as you may have noticed, is Filipina. So as we are having an increasingly large number of OFWs, that's overseas Filipino workers, and they are increasingly joining the ranks of our subscribers, and so we're getting all different kinds of inquiries. What's this one?
Yeah, so this one is a little bit sad.
A little bit sad.
Yeah. Dear Terence and Beth, I am your followers and wanted to tell you both you bring change to a lot of life in your community, and I salute you both. Thank you. I am Jen, married to a foreigner for 5 years now, but until now I still feel guilty because of what happened in my past. I met Ron in dating site. We chat every day, even though I am in a relationship with Filipino. At first, it's just for fun, nothing serious.
So even though she was
even though she was in a relationship
with a Filipina,
Filipino.
Filipino. Okay.
Filipino. I met Ron in dating site. We chat every day, even though I am in a relationship with Filipino. At first, it's just for fun, nothing serious, because my cousins are all chatting foreigners. So I was eager to try communicating with foreigners until I fall in love to Ron, because he is funny and has sense of humor. But I still love my Filipino boyfriend until one day, while we chat Ron, a foreigner, he showed me his ticket coming to the Philippines to visit me. I don't really explain my feeling. Happy, at the same time confused, because I love them both. So I told Ron I just met him in Manila and arranged that we're gonna fly to Boracay and stay there for a week and visit other places because it's not safe for him to visit to my province.
Is that a familiar, do you think that that's a familiar excuse? I've heard this many times from different expats, and they've all said, I've been told that it's not safe. And so that stops them from going there.
Yeah.
But do you think that, for instance, Mindanao has a terrible reputation because there have been open fighting, ruined buildings, people dying, and it seemed like the entire island of Mindanao was a complete hotbed of violence and death. But in fact, it's not true.
Yeah, I don't think so, because there are just parts of Mindanao which there are parts of Mindanao that is not safe, and at the same time there are parts of Mindanao that is safe.
Which the majority is that it's totally safe and a wonderful place.
Because it's Mindanao. They always been if you Google it, it's a nice place, and there are parts of Mindanao that is really safe, But don't just go to the place that is really, there are a lot of abusay.
Right, but the point we were making was that it's a familiar thing that the expats that I've spoken to have told me, no, I can't go to her home because it's not safe. And that prevents him from meeting her family, from finding out how she is
I don't believe
welcomed in her community. How do people see her? You don't really get a whole picture of this lady, that you can't see where she lives. So, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll go back. Okay, I told Ron I just met him in Manila and arranged that we're gonna fly to Boracay and stay there for a week and visit other places because it's not safe for him to visit to my province. It's just an alibi, because maybe that time I can able to decide who's I'm gonna choose with.
So she's already making alibis, as she says. An alibi is what Beth calls a lie.
Yeah. Where is it? I told maybe by that time I can able to decide who's I'm gonna choose with. I told my Filipino boyfriend I need to go to Manila to visit my sister.
Another lie.
I really felt guilty, but I don't want to lose them both. So to make the story short, Ron and I get along, and by the time I forgot that I have Filipino boyfriend. We process my papers for fiancé visa, and 3 days before I fly to follow Ron in America, I broke up my Filipino and told him I'm going to America. Get married because I already have a fiancé foreigner. When he heard it, he cried and said to me, I know already that there was... What was that? When he heard it, he cried and said to me, I know already, and there was no hours that I didn't hope and pray that you will realize that I am the one for you. I already know 3 weeks ago that the weeks that you're away, you are with your foreigner boyfriend. It's very painful, but I love you and I'm still hoping that there's still a chance between us, but you already choose. Then he left. It was the hard decisions I ever made. We've been in a relationship for 3 years, but I want to give a brighter future to my family, able to help my siblings to finish college. That's why I choose Ron. And I know I will learn to love him. I arrived in America, but after a week, my sister told me, Eric, that's the name of the Filipino. My sister told me Eric died in motorcycle accident. It found out he was drunk and hit by the van. I really feel guilty because in our whole relationship, he only drank once. He only drank once Christmas party in the company where he worked. So I blame myself and until now because I thought he drank because of me. What should I do to forget the pain? I highly value your advice and sorry to bring up my problem to you, Beth. Ate Jen. Yeah, it's a sad story. Yeah, what's my advice to you? How to forget the pain, you know? You need to forgive yourself. You know, and you need to you need to forgive yourself so that you could able to release the pain and also ask forgiveness to Eric, you know, to your boyfriend. Talk to him. I know he will. I know he's listening wherever he is, you know. And at the same time, maybe you could visit the family of Eric, right? And you could able to visit the family and talk to the parents, talk to the sisters, you know. And maybe you could say, you know, I'm sorry to what happened to Eric, you know, like that. And at the same time, maybe just to release the pain, tell Ron, your foreigner husband now, what happened year ago, you know, and be honest. Be honest to tell him that this is what happened, and I feel guilty that Eric died because I'm sure that he was drunk because he was desperate and he was still in heartbreaks. So, and maybe by that, if you tell your husband what happened, then the pain, the hatred, what do you call that, Han?
Regret.
The regrets,
Guilt.
the guilt will be a little lesser, you know. That's my opinion. And yeah, visit the family of Eric when you come when you will be in the Philippines, and tell your husband what happened 5 years ago. What?
Well, I see this as a real bloody mess. That's what I see, because it's been lies all along, and you have the husband over here who we assume, in the absence of any other information, we assume that he has been a good man, that he was honest, that he believed that he was in an honest and true relationship, which was quite untrue. This lady, you, ma'am, you have lied all along. You continue to see your boyfriend, and apparently you lied to your boyfriend, and then you formed a relationship. You lied when you said you were going to Manila, and you went off to Boracay, and you had a great time and formed an affection with the foreigner. And then you came back. Now you gloss over that very quickly, But I know from experience that these things do not happen in a moment.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as coming back from Boracay and then a few days later breaking the news to your Filipino boyfriend that you're going to America in 2 weeks' time. It doesn't happen like that. So if you broke the news to your boyfriend just before you are departing from America, where's your basis of honesty? How will you ever find yourself if you continue to think that you can move through life telling one lie after another? I know, I've been there. I've been on both sides of this lying. I've lied myself, and I paid in karma by being lied to compulsively by various people that I've been committed to, which was why in the end I committed to myself that I would not have any more lies in my life. And even when it was difficult to tell the truth, I still did it. Right, so now you at some point, no, I got to finish on it. At some point you have to get through. I don't know, you'll have to pay the price, because what will happen is that the truth will come out. And as far as I see, even though it's fraught with difficulties and danger for you to now come out and tell the truth, I wonder for your own spiritual welfare whether you can continue to live a lie. And I'm surprised to hear Beth, sorry darling, but I'm surprised to hear you say that she should go along to the family of this Filipino boyfriend. She is now a married woman. Is she going to go?
My opinion, no, my advice is, for example, he gonna visit to the Philippines. The boyfriend has already died, right? The Filipino
Yes.
boyfriend.
Yes.
Just to release the guilt, right? She gonna visit to the family of the
Is she
Filipino.
going to tell her husband that she'll do this?
Yeah, that's what it says. That
And
he
what-
gonna tell his husband what happened 5 years ago, and then when he gonna visit to the Philippines, if they can go to the family of the
How
Filipino.
How long has she been in America?
5 years. They're married 5 years.
They're married for
Yeah.
5 years.
So
Okay.
so that if it helps to ease the regrets, the pain, the guilty, they will visit to the family of the boyfriend, right? And then
do you think?
just
do
say
you
hi.
think
How
that
are you?
You think that the husband will be okay with that?
If the husband, if the husband will have a wider knowledge, a wider understanding the situations, that but the wife will tell him, the wife will tell him that we've been together for 5 years, but I'm still in the guilt that I'm the reasons why he died. And I think I could able to forgive myself. The guilt will be away if I can visit the family and will see how they are, if they're already moving on, right? That's my opinion.
Honey, you're expecting this husband to be like a saint, because what you've got a situation where he is going to be asked to forgive her for her infidelity right up to the time that she left to join him
Yeah, that's
in America.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
She was being unfaithful to him all the time that she knew him, right through his proposal of marriage, and right up to the moment before she left,
Yeah.
which is when she told the Filipino,
Yeah, that's my
who she'd also lied to.
Yeah, that's why from the now she's gonna tell to her husband, right? He's gonna tell her husband what happened 5 years ago, and why is it that she was been in a relationship with a Filipino while they've been in Boracay, while they've been dating all along on his visit, that they're still in relationship, that there've been two on her lives, right? And once the husband forgive that, right? The husband forgive that and understand that it's already been passed. Okay, you did that mistake. I gonna, for example, the husband.
You think that that's a given?
For example, the husband will understand and will forgive
Will he?
them. Yeah, for example.
I mean, if he will.
If he
If
will
he will.
forgive, right?
See, I think that what's happening here is that you you have bypassed the main issue, which is trying to keep together a marriage which has always been based on lies.
Yeah,
Now
so
you're trying to keep that together, but that's the main issue, and yet you're bringing how to alleviate, how to find the answer to her feeling guilty about all of this by introducing reconnection with the family of this man.
let me finish let me clear my opinion.
I'm trying to understand.
Okay, first she gonna do is she's gonna tell to her husband. She's gonna tell the husband, right? What happened 5 years ago? Tell the truth that there been two in her life, right? Right?
We're assuming.
Yeah,
that's
assuming.
the case.
Assuming like that. So she gonna tell her husband. She gonna tell the husband. Tell your husband. 5 years ago when you visit to the Philippines, I was in relationship with a Filipino, and even we've been together for vacation in Boracay or wherever you've been going. You're still in relationship with a Filipino, and 3 days before you fly to America, that's the time that you broke up your Filipino boyfriend, right? Tell that, so that your guilt will be away, right? And tell that, until now, for 5 years that we've been together, I'm in guilt because I think that I'm the reasons why he died, right? Why he got a motorcycle accident, why he drank that night, or what he drank that day, right? So once he accept you, and once he forgive you, your husband forgive you, then maybe to take out all the guilt, all the regrets, all whatever is that in your feelings now, when you come to the Philippines, maybe you could visit the family, the mother and the father of your ex-boyfriend, right? The one who died. And even maybe when you look at him that they're doing good, that they're already moving on, maybe you're able to say, I already forgive myself, there's no regrets. That's my opinion.
Okay, I'm sure that the family will be very relieved to know that she's forgiven herself. And personally,
that's so difficult.
Personally, I would make sure that she gets in touch with that family if she were to follow your advice.
Yeah,
If she were to follow your advice, she should make sure that she will be safe if she goes there, because in the Philippines, depending on just how rural the situation is where she lived, she may well be in some danger by going to that family, who may well be saying, if that woman ever turns up here, it'll be the last thing that she ever does.
Or maybe you just write a letter to the post, send it to the post office, right? You know the address of your boyfriend. If she's not your neighbor, maybe in the next barangay, you write her a letter. You write the letter to the family and says, we're sorry, for the loss. I just found out the loss of your son. He's been a good man, but things like that, right? Because Terence got the point that because here we always have said, balik pa ganitong bayhana, like that.
That's what I was going to say. That what does it mean?
In other words, because there are some, for example, the family of that guy says that once the girl will be back here, I'm gonna throw 5 dogs and let her bite by the 5 dogs. Because in the eyes of the family of the Filipino guy, you are the reasons why their sons died.
So in other words,
sorry to tell that.
In other words, your problem is a really serious one. We're not trying to trivialize this in any way or make it funny, okay? And you shouldn't interpret. Well, you're a Filipina, so you won't interpret Beth's facial expressions of smiling as being something that is funny, any more than my serious expression will indicate what my body language is. You're in a lot of trouble spiritually. You are in a lot of trouble on this, and you're going to have to do some facing up. And if you want to live your life with any kind of truth and integrity and move on, you're going to have to tear out this cancer of lies which you have built your marriage on. Now, I'm not advising an easy way out. I don't think that there is an easy way out. But if you want to hide this from your husband, you can continue to do what you can to alleviate your own guilt and not involve your husband in a crushing loss of what he thought was his marriage. The only thing that is in your favor that I can hear is that you have been a true, loyal, honest wife in the 5 years that you have been married to your husband. Maybe that 5 years will cement the foundation upon which forgiveness can happen.
Yeah.
But don't bank on that.
Yeah.
This is a great loss that you're expecting your husband to get over, because what he has to get over is not just an infidelity. It's not just that. If you had told him this just before you came to America, that would have been one thing, but you didn't. And here we are 5 years later, and now the guilt karma is asking you to pay the bill, and pay the bill you will in one way or another. I wish you good luck, and I suggest that you do some meditation or some prayer. I suggest that you talk to people whose wisdom, other than the letter that you've sent to us, someone you can trust to be confidential, and maybe they will offer some better news than we have. You're in a lot of trouble, and you need to do a lot of facing up. Good luck.
Yeah, and my advice also to those Filipina who are, or foreigner or Filipina who are in this kind of thorns between two lovers, choose one. Choose one at the early age, as the early stage of the relationship, because there's a karma at the end of that, Choose one, fight for that one, and
don't look back.
Yeah, don't look back.
Don't look back.
Yeah, and just focus on that one, and tell the other one that sorry, this is the end, because just put at yourself on their shoes,
Yes.
What if you are in the scenario where your lover, you are been two on their lives, and you never know, so in other words, just choose at the beginning of the relationship and tell the truth, because telling the truth will not hurt you, but putting lies on the relationship, adding lies on the relationship will always be ended up a bad situation. So hope to all who gave message, hope you will be enlightened, and as I said, it's just our personal opinion, nothing to be serious.
Well, it is to be serious, but that's best choice of words.
Yeah,
we're not saying don't take it seriously. What we're saying is that it is our viewpoint.
Yeah, it's our viewpoint, but at the end of the day, you are the one who will decide.
Yes, good luck on it.
Good luck and God bless.